we have another piece where, we travel to engage in something just to make sure that we keep our homeland safe. And that'll always be really our ultimate goal, because that's what we signed up for. We just happen to be good at safety, but yet our main job is, making sure that we're protecting.
I find this conversation fascinating from a number of perspectives. One of them is that when, let's say, people are away from home for a while for work, whether it's a day or a week or months or even, more than a year, and then they come home, how many employers really help the family reacclimate the person back into that home environment? And it makes me think and wonder, maybe it's a question, is how innovative really is the military in thinking about all of these other topics outside of the stock standard health and safety risks and topics?
Mhm.
Whether it's developing different technology or perhaps because of some of the situations and conditions that people are exposed to, they're actually innovating at a faster rate than you might see in private industry,
Mhm.
for example.
Yeah,
Do you have thoughts on that?
they are. But just some backstory, it was give and take, because
Mm.
a lot of those private sector practices we adopted. We just happened to adopt them and make them a little bit better.
Mm.
And so now we give those back because they have people. It's a lot of different industries where they'll send people, to the Middle East for 6 months to do safety and bring that person back, knowing that, hey, that person's been exposed to something. But it was a slow process. It was a slow process to the point. That's one thing that you couldn't really get 100% efficient, because it's ebbs and flows. And one thing, and just knowing your intelligence and your studies, you can only imagine the history of war. They're not all the same. So right when you have a certain process to acclimate a certain group, the next group may not take on to that process. So you're always updating it and always making it for the times, because it's going to change and it's going to continuously change. And no matter what's going on now, we know if we ever face another situation, the process that people may have been through Desert Storm, that's not going to stick. Now you have to change it a little bit more. But what we do and what's happening, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, people really couldn't imagine the support of those Fortune 500 companies with the military and the things they're willing to do in the programs and the investment. And hey, we built this employee action program that you may want to modify, or you want to do this, or it's definitely a full-blown collaborative piece, because I've seen it. I've been able to speak to some of these leaders on the outside just to get their perspective on military, and that's some of the things that I didn't know, just really coming through the ranks until I got to a certain stature, and I'm like, I never knew that it was such, a collaboration going on behind the scenes.